going on, guys? So we got our new package in today. I'm excited to do this unboxing. It's rather huge. Just to give you a sneak peek here at the box. It's pretty big, obviously, but what I want to go through and do today is I want to go through and obviously have you point of view with me, as well as I've got one behind up top here, just mounted it up top, so we can go through and get kind of a different angles just in case if I have to put this camera down or whatever, you know. So anyways, let's go through and we'll get that taken care of. Okay, so let's go through and get this opened up. Some of you might already know what this is because I've told a couple of people, but I wanted it to be a surprise for everybody else. Oh man, this thing looks insane. Oh, it's so cool. Okay, so I'm gonna flip this around. I'm gonna put the camera down for a second. Okay, so like I said, it's got the splitter here. This is the lower splitter. That looks awesome. Where did I put the blade? There it is. Let's go through and open these pieces up and see if it is what I thought it was. Yeah, that's exactly what I thought it was. These are the actual grills for this new piece. It's got the honeycomb for it. Oh man, that looks so cool. Now, according to the company, this should be almost a direct fit, which we're gonna find that out, obviously, as we get further along, because I plan on doing a test fit tonight, because we've got a trip on Sunday that I totally forgot about. We planned on doing a Sunday unboxing video, but problem with that is that I will be out of town. We are going to meet up with a different club called the BadAzzVettes&Camaros, I believe is what it is. I'm not looking at it, so if I'm wrong, I apologize, but either way, that's basically what's going to be going on with that. On Sunday, we're going to Laughlin for lunch, or brunch. I think it's lunch. But either way, that's what we're doing there. So yeah, just like I thought, this kit here is for the dual color daytime running lights. They actually wire in as well for the turn signals as well. So it's gonna be pretty sweet. I'm gonna have the stock headlights that have the turn signals going, and then these here are for the running lights, so it'll give it a very, very mean look to it. So either way, I'm going to go through and finish taking off all the plastic here. I'm going to back Sylvia into the garage, and then we're going to go through and show you how to take the front end off of the car itself. Okay, so we just got everything there. I popped the hood right now. We're going to go through and take off the different clips. So basically with this, the way that this front end comes off is there is one bolt here, one bolt over here, there's two underneath, and then there's some in the sidewell, the actual footwells themselves as well. We're actually going to go through and jack the car up right now, because the easiest way to get these out would be by taking these fender liners back, which it's going to be easier to take the front tires off in general too. This is going to take a few minutes, so I'm going to try to do a time lapse when we're actually doing the editing portion, but this is going to look really awesome. I put it up out of the way for now, so this way we're not damaging it. From what I understand, we're going to actually be using some of the factory pieces on the new piece as well, but if I have to get some new ones on that aspect, I will, but it just depends on how everything's going to come apart, because I'm going to keep the factory one as well as the new one, and then we're going to customize it obviously as we go. But okay, here we go. Okay, so every model is supposed to have the same thing for these actual hex screws, or the hex bolts rather. However, mine specifically has been taken apart so many times, I actually have different sizes. So the bottom one here that I have is actually a 5.5, and then these other ones are actually a 7. So we're gonna go through and take all these off. There's actually a couple underneath here, which I'll take those off here in a second as well. And then we'll get to the middle ones up top and bottom. Okay, now on the inside, there is one bolt right here. Can't really, okay, there we go. There's one bolt right here. I believe it's the 7. We're gonna take that off here in a second. And then from there, we have bigger ones up top. There's actually 3 up here. So there's the one up at the very top there, and then there's 2 below it. It's definitely hard using a cell phone. I don't know where my flashlight's at in the house, so I'm just gonna deal with it. But I actually went through, and for mine, I did a custom LEDs for the RGB down here for the original fog lights. I actually took out the original bulbs to do that. Those are actually diode dynamics. All they were is they were originally LED board that I mistakenly ordered for the wrong model because I was stupid and didn't read the description properly. But anyways, I went through and I put those inside of a housing to make those function with my existing setup, which I've talked about in a different video. But anyways, we're gonna go through and get these older bolts here, switch over to the other side. Okay, so same thing on this side. These are actually going to be the same size all the way around, and then I'm going to do up underneath here, and then we're going to do the middle bolts, and then finally end with the top ones up there, because the top ones are going to end up basically holding everything in place. So let's get that done. Okay, so same thing on this side. We've got the bolt right here, and then we got the other 3 up top. Okay, so under here we have 10mm bolts. There's 2 of them. There's one right here, one right here, and then we're gonna go up top. Okay, so I kind of started this off camera because I was in a hurry. We got another 10mm right here. There is another one that is sitting right here, and at that point this whole front clip should come off. But we're gonna do that here in a second, and we'll test fit the new one. Okay, so now we should be able to just go through and, oh, yep, I gotta take all those clips off too. I forgot. Okay, well, one more step. Okay, so we got the front end off, obviously. I just wanted to get all the clips out, get that taken care of, and now we're gonna go through and take the other one out of the plastic and try to do a test mount. Now, I have seen some videos where this has to be modified. I don't know that I should have to, considering the other one that's on here right now, it doesn't actually have the piece underneath of it that could actually conflict with it, but we'll see. Okay, so this is what it's looking like so far. I am gonna have to do a little bit of modifying this just because they forgot to cut out the notch for the hood latch like the factory one. The factory one does have it. Oh, I don't know if you can see it or not, but the factory one does already have it notched out in it. So that's definitely nice on that aspect. I'm not sure, but I think they want me to go through and transpose the other plastic trim over as well, which I can do that after the fact as well. But I'm actually more worried about getting this thing painted first, but it fits perfect, just like they said it was going to. And nothing really to modify other than having to go through and do that hood release aspect, but this is gonna look so awesome. Let me see if I can get the halos to come on here for a second. I gotta put the keys in the car, which are obviously in my pocket underneath of all the screws I'm holding. Let's see if we can get those on real quick. Okay, let's check it out. See what this is gonna look like. Oh, heck yeah. Look at that. Obviously disregard the one that's down here because that's not going to actually be put back onto the car itself. I'm actually going to go through and try to tap into the DRLs and make them color shift as well, but that looks amazing. And then having the other components actually put onto it, oh, it's going to look so good when it's done. So glad we did that. I did. Everything worked out really good except for the actual hood release, which I was looking at it and the factory one actually had a notch cut out in it where the new one did not for whatever reason, but I took an X-Acto knife to it and cleaned it out, or cut it out, so this way I could actually do that. I mean, it's not super pretty, but there's actually going to be some plastic trim that I'm going to have to figure out how I can take off and then put over to the new one. But I've seen some YouTube videos, apparently there's a plastic rivet gun that I can get, or I just may not even put that back on. I don't even know. I haven't decided yet because that might be a little bit of extra time and effort and money that I don't have right this second for this project. But either way, my goal is this next week to get it over to the paint shop. I did set up a basically, like, for lack of a better term, a corporate account with a paint shop over there, so my team, my club, can get some stuff done if they need to. But either way, that's supposed to be going over to the paint shop, and they did, I believe, agree to let me film the process, so I'm going to try to do that, and then I actually go through and put that in the video as well. But this thing looks amazing. It did 100% factory fitment, other than that one thing I had to adjust, which I don't mind. That was a quick and easy fix. And then all the grills are just a snap-on aspect, and once this thing is painted the silver to match, it's gonna look awesome. But got some plans for it. I'm actually gonna go through and paint the crash bar itself, because that is gonna be visible through the new grill. I'm gonna go through, put Sylvia's name on it and everything else. And then I've been wanting to go through and do an oil, like an oil cooler setup. It's kind of hard to find one for the LFX motor. I don't know why. It's not different than the SS aspects when it comes to the cooling, but I do know that the SS has the oil filter on the bottom of the engine, where the LFX has it on the side. So I might just have to get like a remote line system and then go from there. But oh well, time to go through and put it back together. I'm not going to film that because it's obviously kind of boring and it's freaking hot out, so I'm not going to film that. So sorry guys. Anyways, you will see the next part of the video where hopefully everything is painted, or actually at the paint booth and all that stuff. I'm talking to the guys over there and just getting everything all prepped, but we'll go from there.